The much talked about National Medicine Regulatory Authority Act was passed in Parliament on Friday. But what does this act entail and how does it impact you? News First takes a look.
The National Medicine Regulatory Authority Act, as suggested by its title, establishes an authority to regulate medicinal drugs, medical devices and even borderline products. While provisions have also been made in the Act for the establishment of a National Consultative Committee, the Act rescinds its predecessor, the Cosmetics, Devices and Drugs Act No. 27 of 1980.
The Cosmetics, Devices and Drugs Act was enacted in 1980. Regulations were introduced under the Act in 1984. To date, medicinal drugs have been regulated using these two documents in our country. 35 years have lapsed. Although the old Act was being implemented, several problems were identified. In 2005, a government document was introduced and it was called a National Drug Policy for Sri Lanka. 10 years have passed since then. A regulatory framework is required to implement the National Drug Policy. Last week, Parliament enacted the bill for this purpose. That is the National Medicine Regulatory Authority Bill.
Four simple tenets of this Act can be easily identified. These are safety, efficacy, quality and affordability. Drugs, devices and borderline products would thus be regulated in keeping with these four tenets. The regulatory authority tasked with this responsibility will comprise of 13 members. The Director General of Health Services, the Treasury Secretary or a nominee of the Secretary, a CEO and 4 specialist doctors and experts from various fields will comprise the authority. The members of the authority must also include an expert on pharmacology and a professor of pharmacology or a senior lecturer. The subject minister is tasked with making the appointments based on the recommendation of experts in the field or institutions.
ප්‍රධානම දෙයක් තමයි දැන් මේ කාර්යය අපි සෞඛ්‍ය දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ.
A key factor that we are thankful for is that this has been taken away from the Director of the Department of Health. It has been taken outside and placed under the Minister, giving a certain level of independence. The subject minister obviously is the Minister of Health. This authority must report to him. That is the authority they have established. This authority has been given the power not only to issue licenses, but to withdraw licenses as well.
The Act also hopes to ensure that patients receive quality medication in line with their need and the price.
After the doctor prescribes the medicine by its pharmaceutical brand name, when you ask for this from the pharmacist, if the said medicine is not available, the patient is provided with a number of other possible options. The fact that the doctor decides on a qualitative medicine for the patient and another medicine is decided for the patient is a point that should raise concerns. A suspicion has arisen whether the life of the patient is threatened as a result of this. We hope to consult experts in this regard.
The Act passed in Parliament will be gazetted after it is signed by the Speaker.
The first point is to reduce the price of the medicine. A price regulatory committee needs to be appointed and the price needs to be regulated through this committee. I hope to do this in a month and to reduce the prices of all medicine. That itself will be a benefit for the public.